is going to have its own UFO hearings. We have that and more to talk about today, so get in here. It's time for another UFO News Roundup. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, let's just get right to it. The Congress of Peru has entered into a process for its first public hearing for the regulation of biological evidence from Nazca, of which more than 13 scientists testified in Mexico that they do not belong to the evolutionary chain of the Earth. That is huge. If they don't belong to the evolutionary chain of the Earth, where do they fit? Where do they fit? Then you can. I will link to this, and you can listen to the Comisión de Cultura talk about it himself, if you can understand. Now, I'm a little concerned about the UFO hearing in Mexico. I'm excited about it, but, it does seem like the Ministry of Culture in Peru has been complicit in covering this stuff up. So I do have to be a little wary of it, but nevertheless, it is very exciting to imagine that the culture that, or at least the modern day descendants of the culture that may have once commingled and interacted up close and personal with non-human beings may actually be taking this seriously and holding a public UFO hearing to probably present more evidence, hopefully more evidence of the Nazca mummies, and authenticating them and showing their own research. So, yeah, really looking forward to that. Fingers crossed for the best. In other news, MH-370 update. Ashton Forbes says the bounty has now increased to $145,000 for the hoaxer of the videos to come forward and provide their source work. What? This is the only way to debunk these videos, Ashton says. A wealthy follower who has run for higher office has reached out to me and confirmed their identity, adding another $25,000 to the pot. Since we were able to find the actual leaker with a high degree of confidence using investigative skills, and I've reported on that in the past, debunkers should be able to easily find the person who made these videos. The hoaxer will have a hard drive full of their source material as they painstakingly produced 2 different angles with a 3D render. Given the attention and perfect videos, they can get a job at any VFX studio they want. Good luck, debunkers. The ball is in your court. Well, I love it. I love it. That is juicy. That is juicy. Here is a high-res upscaled version of MH-370 and what went down with that, if this footage is authentic. And Ashton's made a pretty compelling case for the identity of the leaker who was caught and went to jail. And so I'm still somewhat on the fence about this case. I have to admit, I'm not 100% sold that this couldn't be a hoax, but Ashton has put together a very compelling case for something truly anomalous to have occurred with MH370. And I think that is, looking more and more likely. What could have happened to this ship? This plane. Why did these UFOs take it somewhere if that's what happened? Some people don't think they took it anywhere. They just dematerialized it. Now, they just destroyed it. It wasn't them taking it through a portal. It was them destroying it. But I think that if this happened at all, that it was destroyed. That it was taken through a portal. And I'm going to minimize my head for a moment so that you can see that window in the bottom of the screen that will show up in a moment. There we go. If it was taken through a portal, where was it taken and why? Were there specific occupants on the plane, specific passengers that motivated the beings to take this plane somewhere? Is that what went down? Because there's various planes that crash, and there's a long history of, planes that have had engine trouble and crashed. The UFOs didn't save them. So what was it about this plane that caused them to intervene, if that's what happened? And again, I don't know if that's what happened. I want to be very respectful of this case because there are people whose lives were forever changed by this. Not just the people aboard the plane, obviously, but the family members. So, but it's an amazing case. And again, Ashton has put together a really compelling case. I don't agree with his conclusions that this was done by humans. He believes that it was, the control group or somebody with high technology that made this plane vanish, that took it somewhere. I don't agree with that, but I do think that it's looking more and more likely that it was anomalous. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Here's the think tank talking about MH-370. The intrigue surrounding the MH-370 video stems from the timeline. How did Regicide Anon, the leaker, accurately predict the Emersat data and satellite locations before the acknowledgement by the U.S. Space Command? All right. So yeah, here is the disappearance of the plane. It stops responding. A few days later, Regicide Anon allegedly receives the video. In May 19, 2014, Regicide Anon publishes the split-screen video to YouTube. However, it wasn't until May 27th that the Emersat raw data was released to the public for the first time. And it wasn't until October 15th, 2015 that Colonel Mike Jackson confirms NRO L-22 was used in the MH-370 mission. That's the satellite. So, so how did Regicide Anon know all of that? If this were a hoax, it would have to have been somebody with inside information. This would have to have been deliberate disinformation put out by the control group. For what purpose? Maybe to make it look fringy. I don't know. But, that doesn't explain why the families of the missing people were receiving phone calls after the disappearance of the plane from their loved ones that had vanished. So, yeah, there's just too many things that don't add up in this case for me not to at least lean in the direction of this being anomalous. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Meanwhile, it might be fun to listen to some comments by Mike Turner now that we know that he's in the bag for the UFO control group, which, is probably obvious after this interview with Maria Balderomo. But now we can look back on that interview and laugh. So let's have a good chuckle at Mike's.
I always love it when you have somebody who comes forward and testifies about things that they don't know anything about. I mean, the most, I think, striking aspect of all of the testimony was repeatedly over and over again, the whistleblowers had to say, actually, I don't have any knowledge of this. Somebody else told me that. I mean, really, this would take thousands and thousands of people for such an unbelievable cover-up to be occurring, and for people to speak with such confidence over something that they do not know is, I think, something certainly everybody needs to be concerned about.
I just think that's hilarious. He's basically admitting to the existence of the UFO control group. All right. It would take thousands and thousands of people. Well, it looks like it. It may even be more than that. Richard Dolan calls it the breakaway civilization. But yeah, so Mike Turner is in the bag for the control group, and he has been probably for a while now, at least since this interview, if not long before. Meanwhile, here's some footage from the Nazca mummy tombs, and I'll have more to say about that. But for now, check out this amazing video taken by the Vaqueros, the Tomb Raiders, who are the ones that unearthed these amazing treasures and seemingly largely sold them to private collectors. So But they did find it, and some of them have wound up in the hands of scientists and researchers. So there's that. But yeah, just imagine being there, being present in this tomb, this alien tomb or citadel or whatever it was. Terrible, terrible video quality, but it is what it is. Going up the stairs. Okay, here we go. They're going up the stairs. Man, I wish that video were longer. Here's the door that they went through. And here is another door with the head over it. And I'm going to be showing more images from the tombs in the very near future. Speaking of the Nazca mummies, here's a pictograph that was located in that region. Very intriguing. Got 3 toes. Looks like a very happy alien, or whatever he is. It's intriguing that, if this is indeed a depiction of the beings, that he is carrying this staff. What is the significance of this staff? Yeah, and he's got 3 fingers. Is that a magic wand? Is that a technological device? Is that, something for ceremonial purposes? What do you think was the purpose of this staff wielded by this very happy looking alien? Speaking of which, check this out. Okay, this is something that Maurice Pierre presented, an investigator of the Inkari Institute, presented. And this is another being that I had not seen before. And this is some sort of being that appears to have wing-like appendages. I don't know if that's an actual wing or not, but it sure looks wing-like, doesn't it? It is crazy. It's crazy. And it has a slightly different face than the others, but still very similar. We need more information about these things. We just need so much more information. That's wild looking. That's wild. So, did they have wings? I don't know, guys, but it is certainly intriguing. Speaking of mysteries of the ancient world in South America, check this out. What in the world is going on with this thing, okay? This photograph was taken in the 1950s in the jungles of Guatemala. It was enormous, but in the 1970s, the Revolutionary Guard destroyed the monument. Ah, man, what a blow. It was 6 meters high, and experts suspected the torso was still buried. The sleeping giant caught the attention of Guatemalan archaeologist Hector Mejia. Wrote about the discovery. He wrote, "I certify that this monument presents no characteristics of Maya, a Nahuatl, Olmec, or any other pre-Hispanic civilization. It was created by an extraordinary and superior civilization with awesome knowledge of which there is no record of existence on this planet. La Democracia is famous for the Olmec heads, which also face skywards. That is where this existed, but this one does not share the same features of the Olmec heads, further confounding the age of the monument, who created it, and what happened to that civilization. The photograph is of an enigmatic head in the Guatemalan jungle. It's one of those discoveries that quickly achieve notoriety and equally fast disappeared from the radar. Still, further efforts should perhaps be made to further the cause of this enigma. The story was first printed in the Ancient Astronaut Society newsletter, Ancient Skies, in 1987. The article included the important photograph that sat at the center of the controversy. For controversial it was. The stone head had very fine features, thin lips, a large sharp nose, leaving an overall Caucasian impression. The eyes of the head were closed, possibly missing eye features, removed over the course of history, though if they were open, they would be looking towards the sky. Its size is enormous. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. There is at least one more photo. Yeah. So here we go. Yeah, look how big that thing is. Yeah, I don't think there's more buried below because look at the neck. You know, I don't think it's like the Easter Islands where there's, you know, most of it is underground, still buried. You know, that doesn't look like that was meant to be a decorative neck with a anatomically correct neck with an anatomically correct body beneath it. That looks like, you know, this face was just carved out of this rock here. But an amazing, amazing case of this totally inexplicable Caucasian-looking statue in Guatemala. Who built this? Where did they go? Were they in any way connected to the more anomalous aspects of South America, like the Nazca mummies or the elongated skull people, the Paracas people? What do you guys think? What does this statue represent? How does it tie into the overall big picture? Could we be looking at a statue of an Atlantean or something like that? I don't know, guys. It's a big mystery, but I love it. Let me know what you think about this and everything else today in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure would appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't miss a thing. Join me on social media, Facebook and Twitter links below. Hopefully a functioning Discord link, but who knows? I have to update those things so regularly. Sometimes I lose track. And yeah, if you wanted to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, please consider buying a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below, or by becoming a channel member, because channel members are rock stars. And I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.